Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Luni, and if you are new here, welcome. Please remember to hit the subscribe button, and also you can turn on the notification bell that tells you every time I upload a new video. To my returning subscribers, thank you and you're welcome back again. So in today's video, as you know from the title already, I'll be talking about knowing your self-worth. And I just want to put a disclaimer out there. Nothing I say here is written or cast in stone. Nothing that I say here is the ultimate. Like, you can still read up on it. Trust me, when I have to deal with something, I also go to make research. Making research means I could be talking to people, I could be reading a book about it, I could even Google. In fact, sometimes Googling it, you will get much more than you asked for, trust me. So I'm just here to just talk about it because it's something that has been coming up in the last few weeks. I'll tell you why in a bit. But so I just feel like, why not just make a video, you know? Just makes sense. I tell you, every time I make a video, just know that something inspired it. Okay, so knowing your self-worth. So I'll tell you what self-worth means, and then I'll go into self-worth in relationships or self-worth in your workplace. I'll be focusing on just those two aspects, right? And also I'll tell you how you can build your self-worth. I know I have a video that talks about building your self-confidence. I'll probably put a link here, but there's really some differences between self-worth and having self-confidence. So that's why I'm also doing this topic separately. So I'll link the one for self-confidence in the description box below, or maybe somewhere up here. Okay, so as usual, I have my notebook. So I wrote here that self-worth is your internal measure of how you value yourself, regardless of what other people say about you or might think about you. How do you value yourself? How do you measure yourself? That is what self-worth means. So and I also want you to know that self-worth has nothing to do with anybody. It is first about you, because when you know your self-worth, it helps you to deal with the external part, right? So I would first like to tell you why it is important to know your self-worth, because of course, if you don't know why it is important, then what are you doing with it in the first place? 3 reasons why it's important to know your self-worth. First thing is, it helps you to make better decisions. You know, I mentioned that I'll be talking more about relationships or workplace. Now, in relationship, if you don't know your self-worth, you will not know what you tolerate in relationships. Now, when I say tolerate, right, I'm not saying that your relationship has to be perfect or it has to be all roses, no thorns and things like that. Even life itself, they say, is not a bed of roses, right? But when you know your self-worth, you know when it is that somebody is trying to take advantage of you, and then you have to ask yourself, is it really worth my time and my energy to be in this relationship, giving my 100%, and this person is just giving the barest minimum? Or this person speaks to me this way, and for every time this person speaks to me this way, it makes me doubt myself. One of the things that inspired this recently is how I've been seeing a lot of things in the workplace, how some people would rather stay in jobs that are not really that messes up with their minds, their mental health and things like that, and they are scared to even leave those jobs. They're scared to leave the environment already is toxic, it's not even conducive, it's not good for your mental health. But because you don't even know the value of what you bring to that table, you would rather stay, because you're like, oh, if I lose this job, will I get another job? Or it's going to take a while for me to get another job and things like that. I always tell people, if I'm not working today, like if I don't have a corporate job, like a 9-to-5 job, I'll still not go under, because I've learned to do so many things that can bring income for me. Now, I'm not saying that these things are enough to take me to where I'm going, but at least in the meantime, in the interim of trying to get something better, I know a number of things that I can do to fill up that space that will still be as productive as I need it to be, you know, for survival. So because of that alone, if I'm in a place that I don't feel accepted, I'm in a place that I don't feel valued, and I feel like people put me down at every opportunity, or they mess up with my head and all of that, I'm leaving. As in, I can promise you that. So I've seen a lot of these things happen. Like, somebody talks to you anyhow, you cannot even confront a person to say, oh, this is what you said, this is how what you said made me feel. It's like you don't even know. I said, if you know what you are worth by yourself, you will know what you should take and what you should not take. Same thing in relationship. Like, you know that you are giving your all, but this person at every opportunity insults you, call you names. You should not be taking that. Like, and you've tried to address these issues on several occasions, and it doesn't seem like anything is changing. Then why are you there? Don't spend your time and energy on something that is not worth it. So the second reason why you need to know your self-worth, so that people can treat you the way you should be treated. And I know that this is kind of related to the first thing I said. Now, I already know that this is how I treat myself. I don't joke with myself. I take care of my mental health. I take care of my physical body, my physical health. I take care of my spiritual self. I take my time to do all of these things for myself. Not for somebody to now come and make me feel like I'm under your shoes, So the way I carry myself is the way I want people to treat me. So if I carry myself respectfully, it's because I also expect people to respect me. And don't you forget, you give what you get. So I'm the kind of person that I even go out to respect people. Like, I see you, regardless of who you are, how old you are, or whatever. I probably will even be the first person to say hello. I'm passing by you, I greet you. Now, it's a different thing if I've done that several times and I see that this person just, gives me the attitude and all of that, then I draw the line, that's a different conversation for another day. But I give that respect, and it's because I treat people the way I expect to be treated. So I will not take it when somebody treats me disrespectfully. And this is another thing I also tell people. When you know the value you bring to the table, in fact, for you to know the value you bring to the table, of course you must have checked yourself to know, am I actually doing what I need to be doing? Am I giving my best? Am I doing my best? Do people know me for putting in the work, right? Because if you are not actually doing something, somebody's complaining or talking down at you because of something you are not doing, then that's a whole different ballgame, So I know I put in the work, I put in 100% or maybe 99% or 90% or whatever, and then you make me feel like I'm doing like 10% or less, I'm not going to take it. I put in everything I can to make something work. So I feel like if I'm here and then you are not even saying that, then why should I be there? The third thing, don't forget why it's important to know your self-worth, is it's an empowerment for self-growth. So let me break that down a little bit. So when you're actually aware of yourself, oh, this is what I'm worth. This is where I'm good at. This is what I'm good at. This is my best self, my strengths and all of that. And this is my weakness. It helps you to know what you need to work on by yourself. Like I said, you are not 100% perfect, right? But perfection is a journey. So every day I'm trying to be better than the person I was yesterday. So if I'm well aware of who I am and what I am, it helps me to know what else do I need to do better. Like, what is it that I'm still not getting? As in how, just like I said, when you are at work and your manager keeps complaining about certain things, and you know that, oh, this is not the impression you want to be giving, then it helps you to be able to say, okay, let me work on this. This is what this person keeps saying, let me work on this. That increases your value. Same thing in relationship. Your partner keeps complaining about a certain thing. You tell yourself, okay, maybe if he's complaining, let me check myself. What is it that I can do differently? And then when you have to do all of that, and then things still remain the same, then it is not you, it's the other person. That's why I just wanted to break that down. So I'm just going to go quickly into how you can build your self-worth. So the first thing I'll talk about is you need to increase your self-understanding. So I already mentioned this earlier. You need to actually ask yourself questions. Where am I? Where am I trying to go? How do I get to where I'm trying to go to? What are my strengths? You need to understand yourself as a person. So while I was in church last week Sunday, I know my pastor talked about some things. I'll try and see if I can put that in the description box. But he talked about how there's a certain aspect of yourself that you know and people don't know about you. Then there's the other part that you don't know, but people know that about you. People see that about you, and then you are not even aware. And then there's the part that you are aware of, people are also aware of it. And then there's a hidden area where you don't know, nobody knows. It's a situation that will actually bring that part of you out. You need to have that understanding of yourself. So I know this about me. This is what I know I'm capable of. This is what I know I can do, right? Some people might not know. Just like you want to apply for a job, you are applying based on the capabilities that you are aware of by yourself, right? And then the other part of, and then the people that want to hire you, right, they don't know that about you. They're only trying to take a chance on you, right? And then there's a part of you that you are not aware of, but people know. So that is where sometimes people are complaining about a certain character, and you are not even thinking that, oh, you are doing anything wrong. It is also good to still check yourself to say, okay, people keep saying this is how I act, or this is what I say, or this is how I speak, and things like that. And then you have to check that part. And then there's the part you're aware of, and then somebody wants to recommend you for a job. Oh, I know Loni, she can do this, I know. And then when they call you, oh yes, of course I can do that, that's the part. Then there's the hidden area that only comes out when it needs to. Like sometimes you do something or you say something and then you ask yourself, oh, did I just say that, or did I just do that? Or, oh wow, how was I able to handle that? I didn't even know that I'm capable of doing that. That's that part. So I'll see if I can put more of that in my description box. Yeah, so number 2, boost your self-acceptance. Now, when you already know everything you need to know about yourself, you accept that, okay, this is where I am at the moment. Oh, I have these flaws. Oh, this is one of my weak points. I don't do well in this area. Oh, I do great in this area. You accept that. Accepting it doesn't mean, oh, you want to remain like that. Accepting it means that, oh, okay, this is where I am. Okay, so how can I be better? or what can I do differently? That's the next step. So the third point is enhance your self-love. Like, oh my god, anybody that knows me knows I like myself too much. Like, the way I like myself. If you want to do something for me and you want it to really count, like, it has to be something that I would not have been able to do for myself, because I treat myself. And I'm not even talking about material things here. Yes, sometimes material things can be part of things that you use to love yourself. I'm an ardent believer of self-care. Like, anything I can do to feel good about myself, I do it. That's me. So if it means you have to keep doing affirmations, if it means you have to keep telling yourself what you would like to hear every single time, encourage yourself, things that you would have expected that people should do. Some people will wait till somebody tells them, oh, you are doing well, oh, you are doing well for yourself, oh, you are doing okay, oh, you actually did great. No, you don't have to wait for somebody to tell you that. Why don't you say it to yourself? Look in the mirror and tell yourself, baby girl, you did great today. Baby girl, I'm proud of you. Things like that. You have to enhance your self-love. If you love yourself, it's going to be very difficult for you to take things that you should not take from people. Then number 4, you have to recognize your self-worth. Like I said, you need to be able to put that value on yourself. Now, in the career world, right, you will see people, 2 people work the same job in the same organizations, but they earn different salary. It's because somebody was able to say, this is what I think I'm worth. Even though sometimes in HR we say, oh, you have to have a salary band. So sometimes even if there's a difference, the difference is not supposed to be very obvious. Like, it's not supposed to be very much. But still, I've seen cases where there was a wide gap. Just because somebody was able to say, no, I know I'm good. I know I'm great for this job. And trust me, you will not want to lose me as an employee, And that's because the person was able to actually put that value on themselves. They were not waiting for, oh, so how much are you going to pay me for this job? And then they said, this is what we can afford. Okay, I'll take it. Yeah, sometimes you might have to, depending on circumstance. But there are other times that you have the opportunity to negotiate better, and you do that, And then number 5, take responsibility for yourself. This is very important. And this is where a lot of people get it wrong. There's this sense of entitlement saying, oh, you should have done that for me. Oh, she should have done that for me. No. In fact, I tell myself, if anybody should take care of you, it is you. If somebody else does it or somebody else compliments that, then you're lucky. Then you should be appreciative of that fact. But the first person that should take care of you is you. In fact, when I was growing up, right, my parents were quite comfortable, right? At least I could go to a good school. I had the basic necessities of life and some extras when there was need for it. I remember that by the time I got into the university, sometimes when I write the list of things that I need, my parents decide which one is actually important, and I still take whatever it is they give me regardless. And then I tell myself, you are going to manage. Or I had a certain amount that should have been my pocket money, but I know that my dad never gave me everything at once. He would tell me, don't worry, if I give you everything, you probably will spend it, don't worry, I'll split it. But sometimes it's never even complete at the end of the month. And then I move on. I won't say, oh, daddy, but you didn't complete my pocket money last month. That means you're still owing me. No, I won't say that. Sometimes if I call my dad and say, oh, I need this amount of money, and then he says, this is what I have, would you be able to? I'll say, yes, please send it, I'll manage it. And if he says he doesn't have, I'll still manage. That was me. And I started, once I had the opportunity to start looking for other ways to make money while I was in school, I started doing that just to relieve the pressure on that aspect. Because I didn't have this entitlement mentality saying, oh, they are my parents, they brought me into this world and they have to take care of me, whether they like it or not, or whether they can afford it or not. No, I wasn't like that. And I tried to tell my kids to the same thing. If you ask me for something, I say no. Just take it as no. If I think you should have it or if I can afford it, then I will give it to you. When you get to the place where a point where you can do things by yourself without having to ask anybody, then you can take decisions by yourself. Don't ask me for something. Don't say, mommy, I want biscuit. Don't tell me, mommy, I want sweet. If I buy biscuit in the house and I give it to you, say, mommy, thank you. But the day you don't have it, still appreciate me for doing every other thing that I do that you don't even see. Things like that. Don't have this sense of entitlement. Take responsibility for yourself. Because at the end of the day, all you have is you. Every other thing is extra. So that talks about how you can increase your self-worth. And I just want to quickly, guys, when I'm talking about something very serious, my face becomes straight, like I'm so serious. Please just ignore. This is my smiling face. Yeah, smile at me. Okay, so before I end this video, I'd just like to highlight some things that you can say to yourself on a regular basis. I just want to say it. So I'll still probably put it in the description, but just in case you won't have it. But like I said, there are resources online that you can read up and you can learn. Some people have mentors that they talk to whenever they feel a certain type of way. These people are there to guide you. There are books that you can read and all of that. So number 1, I believe in myself. I'm just as valuable as other people. I would rather be me than be somebody else. That is very important. I am proud of my accomplishments. I feel good when I get compliments. I can handle criticism. So it's not about you wanting to only hear what people say nice about you. When they say the other side, you should still be able to take it in good faith and then go back and self-reflect. I am good at solving problems. When you're a problem solver, people value you, like people want to come to you, and when people come to you whenever they have issues, it makes you feel good. Trust me, I know. I love trying new things. Don't be afraid of challenges. Embrace it. What's the worst that can happen? I respect myself. I like the way I look. Yes, I like the way I look. See, let me just digress a bit. There was a particular part of my body that I didn't like growing up. I felt like it didn't fit me. And okay, let me just come out and say it. I felt like my lips were too big for my face. Maybe now it's not that obvious. I don't know, because then I used to be skinny. I used to be very slim and all of that. And I just felt like my lips kind of stood out from my face. But the funny thing is, that's sometimes what I get the most compliments for. When I'm talking about features on the face, like I see something that I used to feel like, oh, I didn't like this, but I grew to love it over time. I knew that I was not going to go and do lip reduction or anything like that, but I grew to love it. I accepted it, and then later in life, people started to compliment me for it, and I started wondering, is it me that used to see myself differently? And then because of that, people started to see me differently. So sorry for the type. I love myself even when others reject me. Let me just quickly go back to that part of I like the way I look. Yes, I know when it comes to body shaming and all of those things, that can be very dicey. You can accept how you look sometimes physically, sometimes it doesn't really it doesn't really mean that that's healthy for you. But accepting it and then asking yourself how you can be better, I just wanted to say that in that place. And this also cuts across from other things. Yes, I have this flaw. I have accepted it. I might not totally like it about myself. Can I do something about it and then work towards that? I love myself even when others reject me. I know my positive qualities. I focus on my successes and not my failures. I am not afraid to make mistakes. I am happy to be me. Like, I'll put that in the description box, but I just don't want this video to be too long. There's so many other things I could have talked about here, but I'm sure that with everything I've said, it gives you an idea of what I'm talking about. And like I said, you can always make your own research. And guys, I need to quickly end this video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, if you have not subscribed, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.